Hello, welcome back to the garage build. We're kind of sort of done. So we're gonna get all this pressure washed today, and then we're gonna put the flooring in the garage, the Swisstrax. So let's get right into it. Just a quick real estate tip, or an aside here, if you will. People are always asking, what can we do to add curb appeal without spending a ton of money? Pressure washing is actually a great value. So, we pay $300 or $400 for the driveway, $300 or $400 for the house, $300 or $400 for the fence, and we have a huge, fence perimeter area. So it's a lot of time, obviously. But I mean, if Jose, my guy here, or really anyone for that matter, comes out and spends the day for $1,000, $1,200, something like that. Like the difference, even just 2 months, like what was built up on that new concrete from, I think we poured that the week of Memorial Week, somewhere in there. So it's only been like 3 months, 2.5 months, something like that. But years and years and years of build up, you can imagine. So anyway, if you're looking to add a ton of curb appeal in a very short amount of time for not much money, like a day or two maybe, and obviously depending on your area, I'm sure in California it's like $5,000 or something, but here in Atlanta, I pay my guy, and this guy Jose has been doing all of our rental properties, our house here. I refer him to all my clients for driveways, fences, houses, like they do it all. He and his team are amazing, and they're super easy to schedule with. I think I called him on Thursday. It's Saturday now. So anyway, I'll make sure we get a shot at the side of his truck or whatever if you need a referral for that. But $1,000, $1,500, maybe as much as $2,000. I've never walked up to a house with for a listing appointment and gone, this house could really use a pressure washing, had it done, and then gone, yeah, that wasn't worth it. Like it's always 10 times better. There's dirt and grime and junk, and here in Georgia, pollen hiding everywhere. So anyway, there's your real estate tip for the day. But let's get right into the Swisstrax here. One other thing I just thought of for you DIYers out there, if you're into DIY, you can go rent this stuff, obviously from like Home Depot or your local tool rental place or whatever, or you can actually buy one. If you already have a pressure washer, it'll take you a little bit longer because the commercial equipment versus like DIY residential stuff is a little bit different. So this can be like a nice weekend project for you. But if you go and rent it, I've rented one in the past, I think it was like $400 for the weekend or something. So, and then of course the cost of the water, if you want to get down into the details of it. But for me to do it, to spend all weekend doing it versus having Jose here literally for like probably 4 or 5 hours just to do the driveway, or actually probably 2 or 3 hours, honestly. If you're into DIY, you can definitely do this. This is 100% applicable to DIYers as well, because I'm sure a lot of you are. So $400 or $500 though for the weekend, and call it $100 in water maybe, makes a massive difference. And if you don't believe me, go look at the before and afters on like every pressure washing guy's page. That will change your mind. One other thing that you can add to this that I think adds a ton of curb appeal is your roof. So Jose does a soft wash on the roof. He actually does it from the ground. He doesn't even get on the roof. So he sprays his chemical up on there. I think it's like a muriatic acid or something they use for pool cleaning and stuff like that. But anyway, he sprays it up there, lets it sit for like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, I think. And then he sprays it off. And then again, night and day difference. I'll show you some pictures from his website here, because it's like night and day. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. They're taking trees down next door. Anyway, cleaned out, cars out, vacuumed out, blown out. I think what we're gonna do is just like lay this first strip across with a little transition, and then come back to see how many cuts we're gonna have to make, because the objective here is to make as few cuts as possible, and that's why I got all the same color, because I didn't want to worry about any like patterns or anything. So we're going to start over in this corner. My garage door guy left a little bit of gap so we can actually run this underneath it, as well, and then attach the transition, or the transitions in the front, just under the doors here. And yeah, so no pattern or anything, but this, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, clock says 2 hours and we are done. Official. Look at, I mean, it looks so much better than I thought it was going to. There's a couple places I'm going back and like just pushing down because this is an interlocking system. God, how many trees are these guys taking down over here? Oh, a lot. Okay, so not any better. So anyway, they're interlocking systems. So you got hooks and loops, or pegs, if you will. So these little pegs right here snap down into these little loops right here. And you got to start in the corner. And so, as we said, we started over in this corner. This was piece number 1 here. We added this little piece of transition there, just to give it a nice uniform look. Underneath the garage door tracks. So we started here, ran all the way across, and then put the transitions on, and then closed the doors just to make sure we got a nice little seal there. Anyway, and so then you just, I mean, you saw from the time lapse, and oh, thank you, Apple, for capturing a time lapse, a couple time lapses actually, of us going through and laying it down. What's crazy about this is 95% of this takes like 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you're taking your time. And we took a social media break as well as a couple water breaks because it's like 1,000% humidity, as you can see. The tough part about this job, I think, and the other 45 minutes, an hour or so that it took to do this, was making cuts. I've got a piece of trim I'm gonna put here, but like making that cut because you can see the difference there. And then of course coming here and working around this and working around there. And so this wall, you know, was original, this wall here, and so it's not perfectly square, but most of these were actually pretty square since this is all new. There were a couple of places that were a little bit off and you can't see everything because we moved everything back here. But for the most part, this, like starting here, going all the way around here, and then that edge, so there's really like a half piece over here that we had to cut. So here's a new tile. You can see the transition here, and so this is a new one. You see how easily it just popped right in. So I'm so excited though. It looks amazing. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if this is coming through on the camera or the film or video, whatever, but like it's super visually deceiving, I guess. I don't know. It definitely changes the whole vibe here though, to have that old concrete here, new concrete here, now to have it all the same, to me really like adds to the whole thing we were trying to accomplish with this and making this look all original. So I mean, I just could not be more excited. Huge shout out to my man Andrew for helping me with this. 911 South on YouTube, by the way. I'll be sure to like link his channel or something below because he's done this in his garage as well as a bunch of other stuff that he had to do to his like detached garage behind his house down in Buckhead. But I can't thank you enough, my man, for helping me out with this 2 hours of your Saturday. You could have been doing a million other things, and I really appreciate you. So, and he brought me lunch too. What a guy, right? I took him lunch a couple weeks ago. But anyway, super excited about how this turned out. I'd love to hear your comments down below. What do you think? Would you choose this color? Would you choose a different color? For those of us keeping track here, this color is called Pearl Silver. They have like flat colors, they have pearl colors, they have a super wide variety, and you can go wild with it, you can stay mild like I did with it, but I think this just really turned out phenomenal. And Andrew made an interesting point because I was second guessing the color selection. But again, leave a comment down below. I think if we had gone a little bit darker with these white walls in here, it probably would have been too much of a contrast. This is a nice transition from like light gray to white instead of a darker gray or even black. And then of course, you know, to have all the paint, white ceilings, everything. So I think it turned out phenomenal. But again, would love to hear your comments down below. Obviously, when we moved this post, so this LVL, I'm pretty sure he talked about this. If I didn't, here we go. 6x6 here, LVLs across, 6x6 there, and then this 6x6 will be supported by that LVL that's gonna go across. Yes, we're gonna paint them white. Yes, we're gonna paint that white. Yes, we're gonna paint that and that white. Anyway, we did leave one extra tile here just to fill in that gap. And there's a couple more over there. There you go, good focus, iPhone. I'm really happy with the iPhone, by the way. Super happy, not as happy with the DJI. But anyway, that one will go in there. And really that's about it. I'm gonna get the cars back in here and we'll wrap this one up. All right, so there you have it. Obviously, we still got a bit of materials and stuff here and paint for the door, the entry door, and some other, the mudroom piece and all that other junk. But super happy with how this turned out. But there you go. I'm just one step closer. I do appreciate you being here, though. I'd love, again, to hear down in the comments, would you do this in your garage? If you would, what color would you do? Would you go crazy with it? They have like lime green and red and blue and navy and all these awesome colors. But for me, simple and clean is what I like, and that's why we did this. So thanks again for following along. Episode 14, I think. Yeah, pressure washing and Swisstrax. Really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for following along. It really does mean so much to me. If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for the notifications. What are you waiting for? Honestly, we only have like 1 or maybe 2 or 3 more episodes left of this until we get everything finished. And then we'll start project number 2, possibly, we'll see. But genuinely, thank you again for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you. And we'll see you on the next episode. See you later.